All right, let's get right into it. Today we're getting an exclusive look at an unreleased book called Boring Problems, Big Money. A huge thank you to the author, the ex-freelancer, for letting us peek behind the curtain. We're going to talk about a trap that so many of us fall into, and, more importantly, the playbook for getting out.
If you're a developer or a freelancer, this is probably going to sound painfully familiar. It's what the book calls the freelancer's trap. You hit this linearity wall, right? Where the only way to make more money is to work more hours. And more success just means you're on a faster track to total burnout. You simply can't scale yourself.
So how do you actually escape this cycle? Well, the book's answer is pretty counterintuitive. It starts with this: stop trying to build visionary products. Seriously. Most of us think the way out is to build the next big thing, right? But what we end up creating are what the author calls vitamins. These nice-to-have features that feel innovative, but they're the very first thing to get axed when budgets get tight. Okay, so if building vitamins is the wrong move, what's the right one? This is really the core aha moment of the entire book. You have to stop making vitamins and start making antibiotics. And this distinction, it's absolutely crucial. A vitamin, it's nice to have. An antibiotic, on the other hand, is a must-have. It's a painkiller. It solves an acute, urgent, and usually really unglamorous business problem. And because you're solving intense pain, people's willingness to pay just goes through the roof.
This right here is where the big money is hiding. An antibiotic solves what the book calls a boring problem. I want you to think about all those soul-crushing tasks that happen in every single business. Manually reconciling data between two systems, trying to sync inventory, running tedious compliance checks. These are the infections that businesses will pay just about anything to cure.
And don't think this is a small issue. The scale is, well, it's kind of staggering. Academic research shows that 94% of business spreadsheets have material errors in them. We're not talking about a minor inconvenience here. We're talking about a source of catastrophic financial risk that literally keeps CFOs and managers up at night. Okay, so that's the theory. But does this whole boring problem idea actually work, in the real world? The book gives this perfect example of how one boring problem leads directly to some very big money.
So let me ask you, how much do you think a simple little tool that just fixes one of these tedious spreadsheet tasks, how much do you think that's actually worth per year?
$276,000 a year. That's the revenue from a tiny piece of software that solves one very specific, very boring problem.
So what is this thing? The product is called Gorilla ROI. It's just a simple Google Sheets add-on, and its only job is to automate the excruciatingly manual task of pulling data out of Amazon Seller Central. See, Amazon is never going to fix this themselves. It's way too small and unsexy of a problem for a giant company like them, but for a solo developer, that gap, that niche, that's the holy grail.
So, what does this all mean for you? How do you actually put this into practice? This brings us to the final actionable advice from the book, the architect's takeaway. This one is huge. It's a fundamental mindset shift. The book argues that you have to stop thinking of yourself purely as a coder. Your value isn't just in writing lines of code. It's in designing systems that solve pain. You have to become an architect. So what exactly is an architect? According to the book, an architect is obsessed not with syntax or frameworks, but with a ruthless curiosity for other people's pain. Your primary job is no longer to write code. Your job is to find what the book calls validated suffering.
So here's your new mandate, your new playbook. First, you hunt for that validated suffering. That's pain people are already trying to solve. Second, you go find their clunky spreadsheets and their manual workarounds. Guess what? That's your product roadmap, handed to you on a silver platter. Third, you build the connective tissue. That's the small, robust automation that connects their systems. And finally, you have to remember, you're not selling features. You are selling insurance against failure. You're selling relief.
So, I'll leave you with this final question from the book. Stop trying to invent brilliant solutions out of thin air and start hunting for pain, because that's where the real opportunity is. That's where the big money is hiding. So where are you going to find your first boring problem?